Is there?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy, Jay the Sensei. Welcome back to episode 4 of season 3 of your favorite show on this channel, Decoding Nerdcore. Today we have another special guest. Okay. You know what? Here come the glazing. All right, here comes the glazing. He is one of the goatest rappers on the nerdcore scene, one of the best nerdcore rappers on the scene, in my opinion. That's just me. He was on the nerdcore reactor cipher. If y'all didn't catch that, he spent the most craziest bars, and he was like by far the top one on the list. Your favorite nerdcore artist himself, Shwabadi, has entered the scene, ladies and gentlemen. Shwabadi, say what's up to the camera, y'all.
Yo, what's good? What's good? How you doing? Glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you on here. I know I've had some people ask me to get Shwabadi on here. I'm like, hey, he's a busy man. Let me see.
Hey, no lie, I am a busy as fuck individual, but you know what? I can make the time.
Yeah, so this was, I ain't gonna lie to you, a while in the making, because like I say, he's a very busy man, so I had to try to find a way to stretch it out for him. But hey, we're not waiting no more. We're gonna get straight into this. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell. Yeah, that's not wasting time, y'all. Let's get straight into it. So the first question I have, a little icebreaker, if you may have, is if someone's never heard your music before, what's the one track you're playing to convert them instantly? Starting off heavy.
That's the funny thing is, like, I don't think I can have one track because it depends on the person. Because, like, if I know what type of music they are into already, I have such a diverse portfolio in terms of like genres that I want to point them towards something that's going to ease them into my sound, right? So I know if they're like more of like an electronic music person, then I'm probably going to be like, listen to Absolute, you know, it's got this crazy big loud bassy beat, a lot of electronic vocals in the chorus. You might like that. If they're more of like an actual hip hop head, then I'm like, okay, I have some like just songs where I'm straight rapping over like some hard ass beats. I'm going to point them towards those.
Okay.
So it depends on the person.
Okay, well, that's not bad, because I've heard some of your songs before, and I'm like, I like how you switch up everything that you do, and it's like all different kind of like types and everything. So it's just like, he's definitely someone I could definitely like rock with. Like I understand that, yeah. Next question is, what anime character do you think best represents you as an artist?
Oh man. I'm like such a I'm not a main character is the thing. I have never, it's not something I'm interested in. It's not a role I'm interested in. So I think if I was like in an anime, like I have to describe myself as some sort of deuteragonist or just like support character, because that's the role that I feel the best in. To be honest, like you ever watch Haikyuu?
Of course, yeah.
You know Tadashi, the pinch server,
Yeah.
bro. Like low key, give me him, because I'm someone who like is way more comfortable 90% of the time on the sidelines, but when I have something I need to do, I get in there and I do that one specific thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a little bit of me. But yeah. I don't know. Just keep me out of the main character slot, please, and then I'll be happy.
Loki, if for me personally, if I had to one anime character I think that best represents me as an artist, I would definitely say he only had like 6 episodes of his show, but definitely like either Yasuke, because for those who don't know, there was an anime called Yasuke based off the first Black Samurai, Yasuke, and or it's him or Afro Samurai, one of the two. I don't know. Definitely, because Afro I kind of relate to more, mainly because he's well, I can't relate to Afro because he's out for vengeance. You know, he's out for blood. Not me. I'm a Christian boy. I don't want to be out for blood, but definitely with him being like the number one person and everything, like 100% agree with that. That's for sure. All right, next question is, okay, be honest. What was your first ever rap like?
Oh, pretty horrid, pretty abysmal. Uh, I got into rap because of like early YouTube rap ciphers, like 2010, I want to say, where people would throw up a beat on YouTube, and then it would the cipher format back then was someone would throw up a beat and be like, "Hey, this is the so and so cipher. If you want to enter it, just download this beat and then rap over it." So that's how I was introduced by rap was like listening to everyone's entrances into these different things. And then I was like, so first of all, the pool was really bad. The pool of talent was awful because it was 2010 YouTube rap. So it was a lot of like white kid raps fast type videos. And then I was like, oh, this is really good. I'm gonna try this. And then I would make like parody raps of different songs and that kind of thing. And they were just horrid, just so awful. I didn't get into like rap properly and realize how bad the stuff I was listening to previously was until like probably like 2016. I started listening to like some actual mainstream artists and even just better underground artists, and realizing that this is what it's supposed to sound like. This is this is what the genre actually is.
Okay, now everyone's gotta start somewhere when it comes to like making music, even if it's if you think it's buns and if you think it's garbage, then like, I mean, I thought my music was garbage when I first started. I was like, this is horrible. I'm not gonna get nowhere. And now look at me. I almost have 500 subscribers. So, which is a big milestone for me. So, speaking of which, y'all should subscribe. You know, we had six subs away from 500. So go ahead.
For sure.
Come on, y'all got to lock in with that one.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to be bad when they start, right?
Yeah.
So.
Like some people start off like the best, and they just keep getting better. Like you're like, how are you starting off like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's also a lot of like, for sure, there's a lot of young artists popping up that are just kind of incredible off the bat, which I envy a lot. But there's so many artists who are releasing music where you never hear their bad shit because they never released it. You know what I mean? They sat on it privately in the back, or they just worked on it for fun. So all you're hearing is like their best stuff years down the line after they've been kind of working on it as a hobby for a while. And then they're like, okay, you know what? I'm ready. Here's a finished product. And you're like, oh shit, this is really good.
Yeah. So honestly, sometimes it may take a few tries for y'all to get into the rhythm, but once you get into it and realize and you find like the rhythm you're in, you're like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna stick to this. I'm gonna stick this for now, and then go on about my day, and eventually I'll get better. Hey, that's how it is. Yeah. What's a nerdcore stereotype you absolutely hate?
I think that there's a, especially for like YouTube nerdcore anime rap, like certain communities, certain scenes, there's definitely this prevalence of a belief that people have that we're not real hip-hop fans, right? That we've taken from the hip-hop genre and turned it into nerdcore, but without listening to or respecting the sort of the origin, the source material. And that's by and large across the board, especially with like the most successful artists that you'll listen to out here, not true. You know, artists like myself, Connor Quest, and other sort of medium-sized artists like us, across the board, I think we're all pretty big hip-hop heads. You know, you look at like Ham Sandwich as well, similar size now. We're all like really into rap from our various different scenes. You look at like the top of the game right now, like DPS, or like Dizzy 8, I know as well is really into a ton of different music. So it's like there is this like idea that we're all like, I don't know, theater kids who have only ever listened to Hamilton, and then started trying to recreate that, right, about anime, and that's just so far from the truth.
Yeah, that's so far, because I've seen many of like other reactors, not in the nerdcore scene, but like just reactors reacting to like DPS, for example. Yeah. And they always say that like nerdcore artists are not real rappers and not real rapping and stuff. But sometimes I'll be listening to like back to some of DPS's songs, or like any other like the Dizzy 8 or Rustage or any other songs, and I'm like, you know what? These guys definitely like I could see that if they locked in real hard, they could be just as good as any of these artists that are like out right now. Like just
Mhm.
with like just as good. Like DPS, he's been going at it for like um years. Like even when I was in grade 6, he was still going off, right? Now I'm like, if like he when he locked in, he was like spitting bars. He was going crazy with these rhymes, and I like that like rivaled. I'm not gonna say rival, but like they were like on par with at least Kendrick or J. Cole and stuff, right? I'm like, DPS could be like a full-time rapper if he chose to. If he chose to, he could be on top of the game right now, right? Even hell, even you, bro. I'm not gonna be real with you, right? So sometimes, like when I hear people say nerdcore's not real rap, I'm like, it is real rap. It is not. It might not be the rap you might think it is, but it's another form of rap that.
Yeah, it's just one of the many like variations. It's one of the many branches, the subgenres that have come out of rap as a style. And there's so many different versions of it as well. And just to clarify, I mean like DPS is a full-time rapper. You know what I mean? Like he is a professional rapper. He's been a professional rapper for like 6 years plus, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like me too. It's my full-time job. So like when people like say something along the lines of like, oh this isn't real rap, and it's like I'm making rap as my full-time career. I have enough listeners. It's legitimate enough that it's a career for like several large artists. I think it's pretty legit. I think it's pretty legit, dude.
Yeah. So if any of y'all out there that want to do nerdcore rap and people tell you it's not real rap, don't listen to them. Just don't listen, because
it's just different. It's just different.
Yeah, it's just different, right? You can if anything, you could say the same thing for like. Actually, I can't think of a good one. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
All right. So, little origin journey, like on your come up, pretty much. What made you decide to take nerdcore seriously instead of just making it for fun?
I mean, to be honest, I'm still making it for fun. You know what I mean? Because like as much of a dream job as this is, like if I stopped having fun with it, if I didn't like making music anymore, if I didn't like being a YouTuber or a musician full time anymore, I would just stop. There are other careers that I could switch into. It's never been like a. Obviously, there's like a moment where it switched from being a hobby into like a professional thing, but there was never a moment where I was like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. This isn't what I enjoy doing. There's never been that moment. I'm still doing this because it's the thing I enjoy most in the world, which I feel very lucky to say. But like, definitely around about when COVID hit, I had started getting a little bit of traction with my music. It was like 10,000 views on a song, that kind of thing. And I was like, oh, okay, wait, so there's actually an audience for this. And obviously I've been good friends with Rustage for years and years. So I'd seen him popping off with a lot of gaming raps in the years before, and then some anime stuff. And I knew there was like a scene for it. So I was like, you know what, let me just knuckle down real quick. I was between jobs. So COVID, the pandemic, stopped my teaching career temporarily. Because I was just not able to find another teaching job after that. So I was like, you know what, let me take this 6 months or whatever that I have, let me just really nail into the music and just see if it works out. And it did. So I started like taking it a lot more seriously. I was spending most of my time just in the studio crafting beats, coming up with songs, seeing what the audience actually responded to. And that was like the meteoric climb that I had sort of in 2020 that turned this into a full-time job.
Okay, wow. That's very like, I could definitely see like the come up, because I know, because sometimes people, I even know the struggle sometimes when you're starting off eventually and then something blocks your path from going any further. The way if you keep doing this anymore, like but like, you know what, you gotta break out that mindset, be like, you know what, let me actually come back, right? And sometimes, it's good. Sometimes it's good for you to do that, because when you do that, eventually you lock in and you're like, now I know why I like to do this. Now I know why I continue doing this, right? Even for me, like I'm grateful for the subs and views that all I get. Grateful, but I just do this for shits and giggles. Like I do all this.
That's the most important thing, I think. I think you can tell when people who are trying to enter this scene are doing it because they think it's a way to secure a quick fan base or an easy bag. But it's like it's very, very obvious to, at least to me, when the person is doing it because they really enjoy this kind of thing, and when they're doing it because they're like, I need to get some clout.
Yeah, you can easily tell that. Next question: how did you develop that high energy delivery you're known for?
I think I just really okay, so 2020, like I said, was like my big blow up, but it was definitely, I think, a premature sort of explosion. I got lucky. I made like an Among Us song when Among Us was really big and viral at its peak.
Yeah.
That was 9 million views. I got 100,000 subscribers off the back of that. It was I wasn't ready for that attention, because I still hadn't found my style. I didn't know what I was trying to put out there content wise regularly. I was kind of just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what stuck. But I suddenly had a ton of eyes on me, so I needed to experiment quickly and find out. So I was listening to a lot of like different artists at the time, trying to find like, what is it that they do that I think that I can do well? What is it about their music that attracts me? You know what I mean? And within that year after my first initial blow up, I really dialed in on the sort of the aggressive sound. So I was like trying to train my voice to do as much, and back then it was bad. It was not, my voice wasn't keeping up with the ideas in my head. But I was training my voice as much as I could. I was working on the production style to try and match that as well. So I was just forced into this really quick experimentation phase where I had to find out what I liked doing and what I could do well. Because I had so many eyes on me suddenly. So it was like a rapid sort of growth period where I just dialed in on like, wait a minute, this is what I like listening to, and I can kind of do it. Boom, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, makes perfect. That's so I could completely understand. Like eventually, when you find that delivery, you're like, yes, I found it. This is what people rock with all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give it to them, but also give them something else.
Totally. Yeah. Because like as much as I like really dialed into a certain sound, I was like, oh, I can do this well. Let me keep developing this. I get bored. I get bored super quickly, especially back in 2020 and 2021. I was releasing a song every single week. That was in the course of my first 2 years doing this full time on YouTube. That's 104 songs. So I had to keep myself sane. So I was just like, let me do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I like EDM now. Let me take a bit of that. Oh, a little bit of hyper pop influence. Okay, there's some trap, there's some drill. Whatever I was listening to at the time, I was just try a bit of that, try a bit of that.
Took inspiration from it. Let me incorporate it into the songs. Yeah,
exactly.
I completely understand that. I think we kind of answered this already in an earlier question, but do you feel like nerdcore is still like underground, or is it breaking to mainstream now?
It's underground for sure. I think we have maybe a warped sense of what mainstream means online. This is a much bigger discussion, but there's a warped sense of what success means online. Because I think a lot of people, the type of people you find in comment sections, the casual listeners, the casual consumers online, they think that success means billion dollar sort of record deals, arena tours, late night TV appearances, all this kind of stuff. When that is reserved for the 0.00001%, like such a minuscule amount of artists. Whereas the other 99.9999 are still successful. They make a living out of this. They're still successful at completing specifically what their goals are, but they're not the top cream of the crop echelon, so people don't necessarily see that success. So mainstream, I think, it's a lot smaller. It's a thinner sliver of the top of the successful bracket than a lot of people realize. So when people say like, oh, something's going mainstream, they're blowing out of proportion a little bit. I think nerdcore is more well known now than it was 10 years ago. Yeah, for sure. But it's still a very, like, you take a lot of the most successful nerdcore artists, people like the Stupendium. The Stupendium has this millions and millions of viewers, right, across all of their videos. I don't think the vast majority of Stupendium viewers even know that nerdcore exists as a scene, as a community, as a subgenre. They just are aware of this one content creator doing musical content, and I think that's what the majority of people are aware of. So it's not that they're aware of, they know nerdcore artists, they know nerdcore songs, but they don't really know what nerdcore is.
Yeah. I completely understand that, because I even have like some friends who, mind you, do watch anime. They love anime. They have no idea what nerdcore was. They would, I wouldn't say they would frown upon it, but they would like question, like, why do you listen to this, right? And I always tell them the same thing as I always say. I'm like, nerdcore is a way to, like, of course, like regular music itself is also a way to express yourself on the track as well, but nerdcore is specifically made for you to like embody a character, kind of, to then like rap as that character on the song, right? That's what I always do with my music. Whenever I'm like about to do a song, let's say for, I don't know, Thanos or Doomsday or Doom or some person, right? I kind of try to have like the mindset of the character, and I incorporate it into the song, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because I could just rap as a character, right? But it's not gonna hit more, if that makes sense, than if I were to rap it as a character. So whenever it's I think nerdcore is still underground too, but there are like certain songs that are slowly breaking the barrier between.
There's definitely a handful of songs that are, I think, fully have made it, breach containment. You look at like JT Music's is it one of their FNAF songs? I always forget what game it's for, but it's the can't wait to meet you, join the animatronic family, with Andreas Tom Kierden, I think. I can't remember the name of the song, but yeah, that one is just fully everywhere. Like that's normies online know that song. It's just everywhere. There's a lot of like Living Tombstone songs as well that have done the exact same thing. So it's like, Stupendium I mentioned earlier, Fine Print went absolutely ballistic online. So like there's a handful of cases where the song has reached that more general audience, less niche audience outside of what you would expect. But generally, I don't think nerdcore's mainstream. I think there's a couple of artists that are on the precipice of making it mainstream, for sure. And I think there's two important things. Number one is that's not everyone's goal, right? Not everyone wants. I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it mainstream. I don't think I would survive mainstream. I want to make weird, nerdy music, and that doesn't really work outside of what I'm doing. So I want to keep doing what I'm doing. But some people have that goal. They have that as the thing they want to do. And you look at Game Boy Jones, Dizzy 8, Daddy Fat Snaps. I think those three. If you're talking about rappers, those three I think are the most likely right now for me to make it mainstream, because I also think they're the three that most would be interested in doing that.
Yeah, because even with the Game Boy Jones, his song Jackpot, I've been seeing it on so many like meme templates and everything.
Bro, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. I think I saw one today, and I had to promote Game Boy Jones, and I had to put in the comments like, the song is titled Jackpot by Game Boy Jones. Go check him out. He is fire. And
I was just hanging out with Game Boy last weekend. We were in LA for a friend's wedding. And it was like me, Game Boy, and a bunch of other friends, another Edcross and stuff. And bro, every single time one of us would open like TikTok or Instagram Reels, you would just hear it from their phone on the other side of the room. I just hit the jackpot. And we'd all just start clowning on Jones because he's a meme now.
Oh my god! If we ever get this man on here, I have to bring that up, because I'm trying to get him on here. All right, so when you're making an anime rap, what comes first, the beat, the character, or the bars?
It can be in any order. Usually I'll think of what I want to make the song about first, right? The typical format is I think of the topic, so the show, the character, and then I'll start making a beat, and then once the beat's most of the way done, I'll start writing lyrics. But it can happen in any order. There's plenty of times where I sit down and I just start making a beat because I don't know what I want to make, so I'm just like, I'll just start fucking around inside of a DAW, see what I come up with, and then depending on the kind of sound that I go for, I'm like, you know what, this could work for a something song or something else. So it can happen in different ways. I just started working on a Hikari song from Jujutsu Kaisen, and I came up with the lyrics first, which is very rare. That doesn't usually happen for me. But I came up with a concept for the chorus first, and I was like, okay, I need to make a song around this.
Okay. For me, actually, I think I can kind of relate to you more. I think I can relate to you because it also depends with me. If I, if I'm listening to a song, for example, I think I can, like, for example, if I'm listening to a DPS song, and, like, let's say if I'm listening to his Chainsaw Man rap, for some reason, I'm picturing someone else that would make good on this beat, right? So when I get the chance, I try and, like, think of, because I'll find beats on YouTube, and I'll say, what beat would best fit this character? I try to match it perfectly to the character. Not perfectly, but definitely match its theme, right? And I would look for, like, hours, even days, and I will find, like, the right one eventually, and then I would play it in my head, play the tune, and, like, blast it on repeat, like, a couple of times. Try to get the scope of everything, like the bars, the lyrics, the chorus, the verses, everything. Then that's when I start to write. But everyone has their different, like, ways. Sometimes people do the lyrics first, then find the beat, do the character, then beat, then lyrics, and it's all what they depend on too. Actually.
For sure.
Yeah. How do you balance storytelling versus just going hard with flows?
I feel like I don't do storytelling anymore. It's something I left behind a long time ago. Was like, when I write personal songs, there's often, like, an element of storytelling, but usually now, if I'm writing, like, a character rap, I have no. I mean, if anyone's ever seen me write lyrics on stream, they'll know that I have, like, a list of notes that I want to say, things that I want to talk about. So I'm like, this thing about the character I really want to mention, this thing about the series I really want to keep in there. There's, like, key points. I'll make bullet points. And then as I'm going, I focus on rhymes, I focus on interesting flows, I focus on delivery, and I just keep referring to those points, and I'm like, how can I work this in here as I go, kind of thing. So it's really like the sonics are really the focus for me. I'm really looking at how well I can rhyme and how well I can flow. How well I can make it sound first and foremost. But, like, as I'm going, I'm trying to put in, the things that make it feel like it's about that character. I want to add the character notes, or the stuff about the series, references, blah 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 blah.
Okay. Yeah. Even the one person I do like who actually does this is Dizzy 8. Dizzy 8 likes to tell, because he's more into Christian music, but he incorporates it into anime. So what I like about it is that you can listen to the song and it resonates with the character and with Dizzy 8 himself, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I see a connection, right? There's a couple of songs I love that he does with that, and it's really cool that he does that. Even with me, sometimes I try my best to incorporate some storytelling, even if it's, like, my own, or if it's, like, for the character, I try to incorporate some of that. For those of you who don't know, you could see an example of it in the Akaza rap I dropped, like last year, I think. But yeah, I think storytelling for me is nice when I do it, because I can incorporate a lot of things in it.
I still touch on it, like, every so often. It's more like when I write from, like, a character perspective, I always try and balance, like, do I want this to be, like, just a song that sounds cool with a bunch of references in it? Because, like, there's definitely times where I want to do that just because I think it works the best for, like, the genre or the style that I'm going for. Or do I want it to be a song that sounds like it is the character trying to get their story across on tape, right? So, like, when I did my Knights of Guinevere song last year, which is a song I absolutely love, by the way, featuring Asterisk and Honora, where I realized that I didn't want to just, like, rap a bunch and just drop random references in. I really wanted to get, like, the point of the show across in a song. I wanted to be like, this is a song with a message. You know what I mean? It was like low-key conscious rap, but over like a K-pop beat. I don't know, it was weird. But yeah, it's like times like that, I'm like, again, I'm still focusing on the sonics. I'm like, I know how I want it to sound, so I'm focusing on the flows, the rhyming. But while I'm doing that, while I'm writing that, I'm kind of weaving in, you know, what is the story I want to tell? What is the message I want people to take away?
Yeah.
And that's the sort of order of things in my mind.
Okay, that perfectly said, wonderfully said, actually. What would you say is harder, writing for a hero or a villain?
Hero. Writing for a hero.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
It is so easy, especially in like a lot of different rap styles, to just say some evil shit.
As a villain, it's so easy.
Yeah. Because I mean, not least because like, you know, there's a lot less nuance to it when you're just talking about killing people and you know, whatever else. But like, you look at you know, older school rap, like gangster rap stuff from like the 90s and stuff, or like more modern drill music. There's a long catalog of just like popular violent music to pull from in terms of like what the style should sound like. There's a lot less popular examples of like being a good guy in a track, right? So it's kind of it's the language for that in rap is less established, I would say, and it's a lot harder to write a song from a hero's perspective without it sounding kind of corny, which is definitely something you don't want to. You really don't want a track to sound cringe, you know. As much as I don't really believe in cringe, like the ability to sound earnest and good on a track without just sounding like a cornball it's very difficult. It takes a lot of skill.
Yeah, because this kind of relates back to like the last question. In order, if you were to make a song about a hero, like you would also this is where the storytelling comes in, right? Because a hero has its upbringing, they have their training arc, how they got to where they were today, right? You can incorporate that with storytelling from your own personalities, right? But for a villain, like you said, it's not just about saying evil shit to make the song better. It's also about kind of adapting the mindset of the villain, right? So like if you're rapping a song for like Shigaraki or hell Sukuna, right? You have to kind of like think about how would Sukuna do this? How would he be on this track? And you just kind of like embody the personality of Sukuna. If being like disrespectful, being dangerous and everything, that's what you have. If that's what it takes, then yes, because Sukuna's he's an evil person, right? He just he doesn't just say evil stuff. He does evil stuff too.
Yeah.
So I think even for example, like DPS, he does it a lot, but I think it's mostly seen more in his either Omni-Man or his Homelander rap, because they're both equally dastardly people. They're both like diabolical people, right? And you can incorporate the anger, the hatefulness in the song, but you can also feel like this is a song to prove not to mess with Homelander, pretty much, or this is not to prove to mess with Omni-Man, pretty much. So I definitely say it's harder to make songs for a hero than it is for a villain.
Yeah, I mean, like my favorite songs that I've done that are from like a hero's perspective, or like, you know, a good guy's perspective, essentially, they always still have a darker theme to them, just because I find that so much more of a easier style to write in. So I do like when I want to do like hero style characters, right, in a song, I do tend to lean towards, you know, My Hero Vigilantes. The protagonist from that, obviously, he's just like a nice guy who's doing the right thing, but the whole idea is that he's technically, what he's doing is illegal. So it's like, okay, so I have the hero good guy character doing the right thing, but there's an edge to it where it's like, this isn't right. Yeah, it's not necessarily right, you know, or it's not legal even though it's morally good. And it's you know, any characters like that as well. You look at Gachi Akita, you know, the main character. God, I keep forgetting his name. Rudo is a character who is technically good, but he's also like, he's kind of in a vengeance story, You know, he's
Yeah.
he's doing what he does because he wants revenge. That's like the crux of it. Even though he is like a good guy, he's a nice guy. So again, it's like good, morally great guy doing the right thing, but with just like that edge of something
Edge of
dark.
darkness to it to make it.
Yeah.
Last, one last question. What's one song you made where you surprised yourself, like, yo, I snapped on this?
Low key, dude, I did this happens quite a lot. So I always go through like the various stages of despair when I'm making a song a lot of the time, where like I'll have an idea, I'll start making it, I'm like, yes, oh, this is so good, I'm so excited, and then it'll get to a point where I'm like, this is awful, this is trash, it doesn't sound like anything like the idea I had in my head, it's never going to work, no one's going to listen to this, it's trash. And then eventually by the time it comes out, I'm like, hey, you know what, it was all right, you know. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But every so often I'll get to the end of the process and I'll be like, just the entire time I'm just gonna like, yeah, no, this rocks, this is dope, this is like a really good song. So it was my Murder Drone song, Absolute. That one, just the entire time I was working on it, I was like, yeah, no, this shit fucks, this is so good. And it was my Vox song as well for the Has Been Hotel character. Dog, that song, the entire time I was working on it, I was like, this is so good, people are gonna love this, and they did. So those two for sure.
Like when you're finished the song, do you actually like go back to it and just listen, just give it like a few listens so you get to get it in your head? Cause I do that sometimes.
I listen to songs thousands of times when I'm working on them, like towards the very end, like even once I've finished the mastering process and it's rendered, I will listen to it just on loop in my headphones, on my speakers, on my phone. I'll go out and sit in my car and listen to it. I have like this like obsessive mentality when it comes to like finalizing songs, and I sometimes not being able to get past that obsessive stage means that I'm not super happy with how a song comes out. But yeah, I will listen to a song on repeat for hours and hours.
Yeah, okay. I'm literally the same way, me too. All right, you've worked with people like Connor Quest and others. What's the Nerdcore collab process like?
It's very different. It's very individual. So it really depends. Like I've had collabs with people like Game Boy and Peso Pete, where you will be like, oh, you want to work on a track together? They're like, bet, and they will call you, and you'll be sat in a call, trading files, you know, playing the beat to each other, writing lyrics in a Google Doc, and being like, yo, what do you think about this part? What do you think about this? Or what if we do this in this part? It's like really, really tightly knit collaborative process, which is like really, really fun, but really time consuming and really energy intensive, right? And on the flip side, there's people like, I mean, typically Connor Quest. That's why I live with Connor, actually. But our collab process will usually be, you know, I'll send a beat to him or he'll send a beat to me, and we'll be like, all right, give me a verse on this for next week, and then we just won't talk about it at all until I send him the finished verse. Like it's just like here's a beat. I'm like, okay, 1 week later, here is a verse, done. Which is I think it's because we trust each other's process so much at this point that we're like, we don't need to sit here and like necessarily hash out all the details. I know what you're going to do is going to be really good. You know what I'm going to do is going to be good. So we're just happy to leave each other with total creative control.
It'd be like a little better because you guys live together, right? So it must be like, oh, if when you guys do bring it up, be like, oh yeah, you get it like tomorrow or something. It must be
yeah. And I mean, if he's recording 90% of the time, he's doing it in this office because this is where the recording booth is. So
okay.
you know, I'll engineer for him. He'll sit on the computer while I record, and he'll engineer for me. So it's like we're still involved. We're a lot more involved in each other's recording and mixing processes than the writing. We don't fuck with each other's writing at all. Yeah, we just, here is a beat, right? When you're gonna record, you know, he'll do a few takes, and I'm like, do it again, but try a different intonation. You know, do it a bit more laid back, see how it feels, and he'll do the same thing for me.
Oh, that's a very, it's interesting to know that you guys actually live together. You guys can help each other out with each other. So
Yeah,
which is really dope. I think it's really dope.
It's definitely like a spectrum of like the collaboration styles. I love being able to sit in the same room as someone while you're working on a song from start to finish. Like, I had Freshy Canal in my studio a few times, and we're just like sending each other samples and making beats together in the same room, and that's incredible. We've made like some crazy beats in the same room together. And it's same for like writing stuff with someone. If you're like writing a track and they're in the room with you, it's like the best possible collaborative process. But it's obviously most of us are way long distance, so it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we're nearing the end, not quite, but just a bit. So we're gonna ask some fun questions to get get the vibe going more. So, little anime debate. Who is winning in a fight?
Okay.
Let's see. How should I make this? What character should I use? Ooh, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. Madara, Gojo, and let's see. We'll do Bleach. We'll do Ichigo.
So it's 3 people fighting?
Yeah. Who's winning this?
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Okay. When you take characters, I'm not a power scaler. I don't believe in power scaling. When you take characters from different series and you have them interact in any way, be that fighting or anything, you have to rationalize in your own head how their power systems and how what they do, in their series, how that works, in accordance to the other guys' separate rules. And it's like, I think you can spin this in any way you like. You could have Madara beating the other two. You could have Ichigo clearing. You could very easily say that Gojo, they never touch him infinity and he just fucking blasts them away, right? I think you can rationalize it any way you want here, and I can't necessarily be mad about it or argue against it, because it's so totally up for interpretation. Which is why, I never engage in the. If someone asks me who would win in a fight and they're talking about anime, I'm like, all right, let me get out of here, because you're about to ask me some bullshit, bro. The only time I can ever actually engage in this is if it's 2 characters from the same series, because I'm like, oh, a rule set, I can operate within this. There's no room for interpretation. If you give me like they do crossover series every so often, you give me an official crossover between Naruto, Bleach, and Jujutsu Kaisen, I think that the authors are going to have it so that that's a 3-way stalemate. Is my actual answer. Is I don't think if there was an actual fight canon, crossover, or maybe not canon, but official crossover, I don't think the authors would let their individual characters lose that fight. So maybe Madara. Actually, maybe Gojo and Ichigo would just kill Madara, bro. Maybe that's what it actually is.
So you're saying it would be a tie if that's the case. That's actually...
I think the most realistic outcome for if that was to ever be written, to ever happen, is that they would draw somehow.
Fair. That's actually by far one of the best answers anyone can ever say. Let that be. Listen, you learn from Shwabadi here, ladies and gentlemen. If someone were to ask you that kind of question, just tell them it will most likely be a draw, because their authors are not going to make them lose. If you want the easy answer though, go just kill them both, obviously, because he has the fucking 6 eyes in infinity. They're never touching him, and he just blasts them with hollow purple. me personally, y'all could debate in the comments if y'all want. Don't care. I think first off, Gojo's a beat. First one's that's up out of there, because if they have all their power sets, Gojo's out of there first. That's just me. But if I had to win though,
definitely just you.
If I had to win though, I'm definitely saying Ichigo. Ichigo might actually win that. Madara will give him a run for his money. I won't even lie to you. He'll give him a run. What is
Madara doing to Gojo?
Oh, Madara could do a lot of shit to Gojo. Okay. They have all their power sets, correct? So that means Madara has Ito Tensei as well, right? Mm-hmm. Ito Tensei practically makes Madara a whole god. He's not gonna die, right? Gojo can do his domain expansion, but we've seen what a domain expansion is technically their version of Genjutsu. Let Madara catch Gojo off guard with Genjutsu, it's over.
It's I wouldn't describe it as a Genjutsu. But it's like
That's
it's
fair,
that's
fair.
what I mean about the interpretation, right? Is like
That's fair.
because at the same time, it's like, is chakra their universe's equivalent of cursed energy? So therefore, you know, like how does that pair up? And
That's fair. No, people are gonna cook me in the comments. I can already hear.
I'm waiting for it. But anyway, I give my serious answer. I give my silly answer. There you go. That's what you get from me.
I mean, the audience knows that I don't like JJK at all. So,
I love
yeah.
JJK. I am such a big critic of JJK, but I love it.
I despise it with the match. I'll get it any chance I get. I'll shit on it any chance I get.
Insane.
Okay. Here's a good question. What's one anime take you have that would get you quote unquote hated for?
I don't know. I've had I feel like quite a lot of hot anime takes in the past, but I'm someone who's like quite opinionated. Like I'm like open-minded, so I will change my opinion quite readily once you know someone gives me a good enough argument. I'm like, oh, you know what, you have a point. That's changed my mind totally. But while I have an opinion, I have it quite strongly. So like in the past, I've had you know many debates. I'm very opinionated about certain things, especially media I consume. But in the last like 2-ish years, I've really just like haven't had an argument with someone about anime at all. So it's hard to say. I think just the only thing that's coming to mind right now is my hottest current anime take is that Sanji is the worst Straw Hat. And what I mean by that is that he is the worst character in the Straw Hat Pirates. He's not the most useless. He's not the weakest. Obviously not. He's very story relevant. He's very powerful. I think he is. I think he is character wise the worst Straw Hat, and then that's something you can't really argue because it's just opinion based. But like, he has the weakest characterization throughout the manga, in my opinion, and also like the worst comic relief moments that are played off as I don't know. Yeah, I just think he's kind of a bad character.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you partially. I do agree that Sanji is kind of I would say he's one of the worst Straw Hats. I was never into Sanji like that, mainly because 50% of the time he's either chasing after Nami, Robin, or some other chick in the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Sanji, give it a rest, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason why I like Sanji is because he's the best cook in the Grand Line. It's the only reason I like him, and because he's bad. He's kind of bad.
I'm gonna say this though: the live action One Piece right now, like I don't know what people's opinions generally are about the live action One Piece. I think it's really good. I think the characterization of Sanji in that the way that he's written so far and what I've watched, he seems great. He seems like definitely the better version of the character.
Yeah, he was so wonderful. Because I remember when I first watched the first season, and I'm like, they did Sanji really good, right? Because Sanji in the manga was like, he was desperate, he's down bad and everything. In the live action, he actually has like a more of a caring side to him than there is like a more. He actually cares. Like when, for example, in season 2, for those who haven't seen One Piece season 2 yet, when Nami got sick, Sanji stayed by her side the entire time. She was out for 3 days, stayed by the side the entire time, and honestly, props to him because like I don't know, no other Straw Hat was gonna do that. Well, that's a lie. they were. That's a lie. They were, but Sanji, not even excusing his feelings for her, I guess, he's still wanted to look after her regardless, right? He was hell bent on finding a cure for her, even if it meant dying. So that's why I think the live action was really. I watched season 2. Oh my god, I can't. Actually, a little off topic with the live action One Piece. Where do you think they're gonna end it?
But the whole series?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna go until it stops being like worth it for Netflix. So I think it's gonna get kind of a weird ending at some point. Like they'll probably be like 5 seasons in. You know, they're in. Oh shit! I always forget the order of the arcs. I've got the fucking manga behind me, bro. They're gonna. You know what?
Dang, that's a lot of manga. Holy crap!
It's about the first 100 volumes.
For 100 volumes.
I would love if the live action One Piece somehow did the whole thing, but I don't think that's realistic.
No.
I think they're probably going to get to like Water 7, Ennis Lobby, and then the funding won't keep going anymore.
I did hear that Oda said he wanted to let the actors play the characters, but not for long. He didn't want them to play until like they're like in their 50s. So with that being said, I think the best place to end it, and that's just me, is not before the time skip. Before the time skip, I think it's the best time to do it, because I believe it's still when they're still like Luffy and them are still finding the crew, and it's mainly more about pirates, right?
Yeah.
After the time skip, that's when they develop hockey and more on the power scaling start to form out. But before that, before Marineford, everything before that was just the pirates. I mean, we got to see Crocodile at the end of season 2, so hopefully, I'm saying this right now, I need to see live action Dofi, because I know they fought. I know they fought. We didn't get to see it. I was so mad. I was like, how you going to take away the two drippiest guys in the ocean and not
my favorite arc still to this day in One Piece is Ennis Lobby, so I at least I hope they make it to the end of that, because I think that would be really, really cool.
I think it'd be really cool if they do that too. I just think they might end up Marineford to avoid.
I think that would be a sensible ending. I definitely wouldn't be mad at that.
The war happened, so it makes sense to end it there. But who knows? Who knows what Oda has? Right now, he dropped the One Piece in the ocean, the actual One Piece.
Yeah, he sunk it 2 kilometers down or whatever, Mariana's Trench. So
people actually found it the exact day that he dropped it in the ocean. And people found it, but I'm like, congratulations, you found where it is. Now who has the balls to go down there and get it?
Good luck.
Good luck in getting it. Another question is, what would you say is the most toxic anime fan base?
Oh. The issue is that like so many of the fandoms nowadays have become
Toxic,
radicalized in a way, I think like short form media and TikTok comments and YouTube comments and stuff, they really exacerbated the kind of combativeness of different fandoms. I would say that My Hero gets a lot of bad rap for its fandoms, but I don't think they have. I don't think MHA fans are that bad. They're just like a little bit cringe, but that's normal because most of them are like teenagers, and that's what you do when you're a teenage anime fan. You be cringe. You know what I mean? I think the most toxic fandom currently is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay, thank you. Said it. I was gonna say it too.
And look, I am a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, but I'm not active in the fandom because Jujutsu Kaisen is an anime that has brought in a lot of mainstream sort of audience, like people who weren't necessarily into anime before. It's brought them in because it's gorgeous, the animation. It's quite accessible, modern story. So it's brought in a quite a big audience, and they're sort of really mean for some reason.
That is so true.
They're just kind of mean.
They are.
So, yeah.
I don't mean to call any of you JJK fans mean, but I'm not gonna lie to you. You can't bring up anything around them. You say even the slightest, he's not. Gojo's not that bad. They'll be like, what? Gojo is good. Gojo's the greatest anime character ever. Okay, relax. Okay, I don't know about the greatest anime character of all time. All right, he's not even. He's not top 10, nor is he top 20. He's not even breaking top 30. But that's the
not breaking top 30 might be. Hold on, that might be rough. But I mean, I agree, and I think it's just the nature of the size of the fandom means that there's a bigger pool of people who are just kind of rude online. Because I mean, you definitely get like, bigger fandoms like the Dragon Ball. People who are really into Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, that anime is so old at this point. Those guys have been around for a while. They've mellowed out. But JJK is new. It's fresh.
News are
So it's all these young blood guys just like,
Literally,
scrapping online for some reason and trolling the fuck out of other people.
Yeah, because that's why Dragon Ball, One Piece are one of my favorite animes. Because Dragon Ball, I watched. It was one of the first animes I watched. Technically, it was One Piece I watched first, but Dragon Ball caught my attention more. Okay, and so it was specifically the Cell Saga that caught my attention. When I saw Vegeta get his ass whooped by Cell, that's what caught my attention. And I was like, what anime is this, right? And it's like kind of now reason with me now where I'm like, okay, yes, Dragon Ball is the founder of all shonen anime, right? I'm not denying the fact that there are characters in other animes that can be Goku. I'm not denying that fact. There most likely is, right? It's just that the when I hear people say, "Oh, Gojo can be Goku," I'm like, y'all keep putting Goku in these situations when you know sometimes he will lose, right? But at the same time, you have to put Goku in this situation because when Dragon Ball came out, he was technically the strongest person, right? So as he got stronger, people's votes started to get bitter and everything. So whenever I hear JJK say, like, people say JJK is like better than like Dragon Ball, I've heard them say JJK was better than Naruto. I genuinely want to slap them because I'm like, no. See, you can disrespect One Piece. Actually, you know what? That's a lie.
Hold on. Let me put this on record. By the way, I don't care what your favorite anime is. I don't care if you think Naruto is better than One Piece. I don't care if you think JJK is better than Dragon Ball. That's fine. You can have an opinion.
Yep.
Naruto is a deeply flawed series, and I think after chapter 500, it's kind of trash. So I'm not gonna be like a vehement Naruto defender. Some of it's like one of the best manga I've read.
Yes.
After a certain point, it's dog shit. I think the last few arcs of Naruto are horse shit. They're so bad. I hate them. So I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, no, a lot of people didn't. I mean, when Shippuden came out, a lot of people they had mixed feelings about Shippuden. It was still good.
Yeah.
But there was
give me everything up until Pan. Once the Pan arc is over, I clock out. I'm good.
It's over. So you can say the same thing for Dragon Ball Super. Honestly, everyone didn't. It's
Super.
mixed.
Yeah, I mean Super is whatever. Yeah. I think I like Dragon Ball, just the original run, before the Saiyan saga and everything. I liked the martial arts.
The martial arts
manga.
Yeah. I would say though, like, well, one thing I would say though is that whenever I hear people say JJK is good, I'm like, okay, I'm not denying the fact that JJK is good. It's a wonderful anime, wonderful manga too. I'm not denying that fact. The fights are immaculate and everything, right? It's just that you have to look at it at a more grander scale, okay? Has JJK ever broken the internet? In any I don't care what form you're talking about. Has JJK ever broken the internet? And I've heard some people say, yeah, they have. Like, with what? With what did they break the internet with? They're like, oh, the Gojo Sukuna fight. I'm like, that was a manga. It's like you're breaking the internet, all right? Dragon Ball's been doing that since Z came out. When Goku first went Super Saiyan, when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2, it broke the internet. And it really dominated when they had the Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power arc, and they had Frieza, Goku, and Jiren fighting. That didn't just break the internet, that broke the entire world. Because everyone was streaming that shit. And me too. I won't even lie to you. I was like, this is why Dragon Ball is what it is, right? There wouldn't be Dragon Ball without the community, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a measure of success for an anime necessarily be its popularity though. I'm never gonna have how popular an anime is be my argument for if it's good or not, or if it's better than another anime. I think some of the greatest manga ever written is not that popular. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not gonna be like, yeah, Dragon Ball is the most popular anime in the world. Yeah, it's not top 5 in terms of like how good it is. I love Dragon Ball so much. It's definitely like one of my favorites of all time. It's not top 5. It's not top 5 because it's a really simplistic battle shonen story that paved the way for others. But it's, most people just like it kind of out of nostalgia because they watched it as a kid.
That's fair. You could say the same thing for like like Star Wars and everything, right? People
Mm-hmm.
don't like the sequels because, well, that's no, it's the sequels. That's fair. That's
Yeah, no, that's a bad example. The sequels are just bad for that one.
very
But yeah,
bad
yeah.
example.
It's I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's more like the Harry Potter. Like everyone loved the movies, and now they dropped the trailer for the TV show, the new one that they're making, and a lot of people are kind of upset because the movies were perfectly
Well,
fine.
I just think that's stupid. I think that it's just that's bad because Hollywood is just doing stupid fucking cash grabs. Where it's like you didn't need to make a TV series, you just have no better ideas right now.
Literally, I'm like the movies are. Okay, am I gonna watch the show? Won't lie, I probably will. 'Cause I do like Harry Potter, but I think they should just left it alone because the movies were all great. They were all amazing. There was like a bit of darkness to this teen novel. To this teen novel, there's a bit of darkness to it. I don't know how they're gonna bring it into the TV show, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Well, this has been a really, really great episode of Decoding Nerdcore, episode 4 of season 3. Before we close, what advice would you give to someone trying to start Nerdcore right now?
I said do it for the right reasons. Like it just if you are having fun making the music, then keep going. You're gonna be bad, and it's fine to be bad. You don't have to release your music, but if you do, and someone says it's ass, they're probably right. But that's okay, as long as you're enjoying it. If you send some shit to me and I'm like, damn, this sucks, don't let that discourage you. The whole point of art is expression. But you can't just be good at it right from the beginning. If you're going to express yourself, you have to be ready to express yourself really poorly for a while before you can finally get those ideas across the way that they sound in your mind. Okay?
Yeah.
We all do the same thing. Sometimes it takes a long ass time. Sometimes it doesn't take that long. You know what I mean? Think of it like drawing. You sketch every day, you study, you learn, and you get better and better at drawing. It's the same thing for music. The first time you try and put, pencil to paper, it's going to be shit. The first time you try and make a beat in a DAW, it's probably going to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But you keep sketching, you keep trying, and you get better and better over time. Don't be discouraged. Don't be afraid to be bad.
Well said, well said. And the final question of the day, if you don't mind, is what are we not ready for from you yet? What are we not ready for?
You're not ready for this One Piece track I'm working on. Because it's a style that I don't necessarily think I've put out. Because it's a style that is very British. I'm doing like a more of like a pop rap style that was really popular in England for the last like 20 years, but I don't think really made it overseas. So I'm gonna see how it does. I'm gonna see how people respond to it. It's super fun for me to work on, but I don't know if the community is ready for that. We'll see.
Well, now we have something to react to, guys. We have something to react
There you
to.
go.
Add to the reaction list, for sure. Anyways, y'all, I'll catch y'all with another video. Hopefully, today's Friday. Either tomorrow or the day after. I don't know. I don't know my schedule yet. But until then, if you like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, hit up Shwabadi's channel down in the description below. You should like, comment, subscribe on his. We should like his. Shwabadi, where you at right now? How many subs do you have right now?
Shit, I don't. 190,000, something like that. 197, I think. Yeah.
197. Get him to 200.
Yeah.
For me, y'all.
Give me the 200K.
200K. That's what we're asking for. Anyways, y'all, I'll see y'all with another video. As usual, stay blessed.